Today we're going to talk about how to set up the Chaplin's Improved number 208 plane. It's got a really unique depth and lateral adjustment mechanism. I just finished restoring this plane today, as a matter of fact, and I was so happy with the way it performed I thought I'd do a video on how to set one of these up and make it work. So let's get to work. The adjustments on the 208 are rather unique. Let's take a close look at them. The lateral adjustment lever is integrated into the lever cap and it sits on top of the iron. To laterally adjust your iron, all you have to do is move the lever. If you go to the right, it cants it deeper on the right hand side. If you move the lever to the left, it cants it deeper to the left. Let's take a look at how that works. To the right and to the left. Pretty neat mechanism. Straightforward on top and easy to adjust. And it does it fine with the lever cap locked down. The depth adjustment is located underneath the iron. So if you look right here, this is your depth adjustment. Just like the lateral, it moves left and right for the depth. If I move it to the right, the iron goes down. If I move it to the left, the iron comes up. Let's look and see if we can see the movement. Moving to the right, iron goes down, left, the iron comes up. You've got a total movement of probably about 3/16 of an inch. And those mechanisms are working with the iron tightened. Let's break it down and take a look at it. It's really a unique setup. Kind of awkward, this part of it anyhow, because when you pull the iron out, what you see is that notch right there that this screw goes into. So it's hooked onto your iron. I can separate the two like that. So this is what we're looking at. That head of that screw has to go into that notch. And then you can tighten it up and then set it for planing. That's how it works. Let's take it apart one more time. Just like that. Now you get a better look at the frog. So the frog on this thing, that's where your depth adjustment is, and you can see how left brings it up, right puts it down. That's how it works. So I'm going to put it back together. When I put it together, setting it up to do some planing, I've got it on my workbench and I let the iron rest flat on the wood. I'm going to slide that lever cap, well, cap I guess, there's no lever, square down about 1/8, 3/16 from the end of the iron, and I'm going to snug it down. There you see the iron is fairly square in the throat, and we're going to take it over to a piece of wood and set it, see how it works. So I've got about a 2.5 foot long 2x4 in the vise, and we took it from the workbench over here, and right now there is no contact of the iron with the wood. Alright, I'm going to gently push that lever to the right while I slide the plane forward until I get contact. Nothing on that pass. Oh, there it is. She's biting on the left hand side. Left hand side, so that means I got to give it some right lateral. So we will do that. Right lateral, nothing's touching. So a little bit more on the depth. still on the the left hand side. So a little bit more lateral to the right. Well, it looks like she's coming up almost dead center. Let's give her a few passes now and see what it's doing. It's doing pretty good. Not too bad for a 110-year-old plane. Now that I've gone through the steps of setting the iron on that piece of 2x4, I replaced that with a piece of 3/4 inch walnut. And what I like to do with that is, it's a challenge. I want to see how thin of a shaving I can get with my planes. My record was with the Stanley 5 1/4 C, and I got 0.5 1/1000ths of an inch. So now we're going to try this one and see what it'll do. I'm going to back the iron off by pushing that depth adjustment lever to the left, and it's not touching the wood. And same thing we did with the 2x4. I'm going to move it slightly to the right until I feel it contact the wood. There we go. We have contact. Making some nice shavings. Let's see if I can back it off a little bit and make them thinner. Just a little bit of a touch. Let's check these on the micrometer and see what we've got. First check of the micrometer is not all that impressive. I can tell by the feel it's just under 2/1000ths of an inch. I'm going to move the depth adjustment very ever so slightly to the left, and we'll try it again. Let's see what we've got. That's a fragile shaving. See if I can straighten it out enough to get it on the micrometer. One check, two checks. It's about 0.6 1/1000ths of an inch. We never thought you could achieve that on an old Chaplin plane. There it is. So we're done. The old Chaplin plane was surprisingly easy to set. Good sharp iron, and it was able to achieve about my second best shavings I've ever had. It's right up there with the best of them, 0.6 1/1000ths of an inch. So if you manage to find yourself one of these old planes, don't be afraid to pick it up. It will make a really good user. On to the next project. Look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.